Hello, and welcome to Around the Political World with John Rothman. I am John Rothman, and I am your host. If you are a fan of the show, make sure to hit the follow button on the top right of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening now. When you hit follow, leave a review or share an episode with a friend. It helps other people discover the show, keeps us going, and as I like to point out every day, it expands our base. This is a critical moment in the history of our country. The nation must decide whether or not they want to follow the course laid by Donald Trump or the course laid by Joe Biden. And more important, the question is, should Joe Biden lead the opposition to Donald Trump? And one of the key questions Democrats are asking across the country is Joe Biden up to it? The question is not whether Joe Biden has been a good president. The question is not whether Joe Biden has been an effective leader. The question is, can Joe Biden lead the Democratic Party and the American people not only through this campaign, but for another 4 years? And if you believe your eyes, you know that what happened in the joint appearance between Donald Trump and Joe Biden does not measure up. And I don't know what he can say or what he can do to erase the image of a president who simply isn't up to it. That's the reality. It's a harsh reality. For those of us who have supported Joe Biden, like Joe Biden, believe that Joe Biden has been a very effective president, this is a painful moment. But you cannot deny what your eyes see, an enfeebled Joe Biden. And that means the Democratic Party, along with Joe Biden, has to make a choice. What is the most important single objective that the Democratic Party must have in the election of 2024, and that is the defeat of Donald Trump? Who can most effectively quarterback the team to achieve that end? And right now, there are grave doubts about Joe Biden. I don't know how you erase from people's minds and memories what we saw. And those images are going to be projected by the Republicans every time there is an ad between now and November 5th. And that means Joe Biden has to make a decision. When he ran for president 4 years ago, he announced that he was running in order to stop Donald Trump because of what he saw in Charlottesville. Do you remember the torches and the chants, "Jews will not replace us"? He said that is what motivated him to be a candidate for the presidency and ultimately to win the presidency. Well, if his goal is to prevent Donald Trump from becoming president, he must ask himself a simple question. Is he the one to do it in 2024? Let's concede that those of us who support Joe Biden believe he's been a very good president, that he's been an effective president, that he's done his best to lead the nation, and frankly, his best has been pretty good. But this is 2024. Can Joe Biden continue until 2029? And the answer is, in a frank, honest way, I don't think he can. And I think most of you agree with that. So what is the fallback position? The fallback position is the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. She is an effective leader. She is an effective debater. And it's true, she's had an image problem, but every vice president has an image problem because they are the spare tire. They're the person who is simply left waiting. It's not a comfortable job to have. But those of us who know Kamala Harris and who have watched her over the years know she is a very effective debater. She was a very effective prosecutor. And in a head-to-head confrontation with Donald Trump, let me assure you she's up for it. What kind of president will she make? Well, the simple truth is we have a choice between the vision of Donald Trump or the vision of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So here is what I am looking for as we await what Joe Biden will do. If he withdraws, then Kamala Harris should be the Democratic nominee for president. She has a record of almost 4 years as vice president. She is the best person equipped to defend the Biden-Harris administration. This is a tough thing for me to say because I really like Joe Biden. I really respect Joe Biden. I really think Joe Biden is the best president we could have had for the last 4 years. But, Joe, think about what you said 4 years ago. The most important single thing in your mind then was to prevent Donald Trump from becoming president. Is that still your position? One thing we know is, if Kamala Harris becomes the Democratic nominee for president, Joe Biden will be out stumping for her. He will do everything within his power to make sure that she wins. They will be defending a record of an administration that has a good record from the point of view of Democrats across this country. And let me close by saying this. I have chosen today to emphasize Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. But let me assure you, the case against Donald Trump is clear and must be made effectively. And my position is that the person who can best deliver that message to the American people of the danger of Donald Trump, that's the one who the Democrats should nominate. So now we await Joe Biden's decision, and we await the judgment of history. This is a critical moment. And what happens in the election of 2024, well, it's going to have a huge impact on us and on future generations of Americans. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Around the Political World with John Rothman. I am John Rothman. Make sure to follow along and let me know your thoughts on the show by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and sharing an episode with a friend or colleague so we can continue to grow and expand. You can interact with me on LinkedIn and on Facebook. And of course, my deep appreciation to Gogo Zoger, the wonderful producer of Around the Political World with John Rothman. See you tomorrow.